Money is a very big deal on planet Earth. You can't live just with the contents of a good heart. You need the contents of a big wallet. Life is expensive. Survival alone takes a tremendous amount of work. Money is not the root of all evil. If anything, it is one of the biggest roots of the good. If you don't have any money, you're going to suffer on this planet. You're going to suffer to eat. You're going to suffer to pay for a roof. You're going to suffer with the children. You're going to suffer a lot. And you're going to have to work like crazy just to stay alive. That's not such a good life. I mean, if we want a pleasant life, which is certainly a tenet of paradise on earth, we need money. And if to think that money is the root of all evil, that's not going to help get anybody wealthy. It is a hypocrisy of the soul. Okay. It's a hypocrisy to condemn money, to hate money, just because you don't have any money, which is usually the case, and it was the case at the time of Jesus and at the time of biblical times, where there was a tremendous amount of poverty and there was a sense that money was terrible. Is there any truth that money can bring evil? Absolutely. There's a negative side. There's a positive side and a negative side to having money. Okay. When you come out of poverty, or when you start to have money and you start to have pleasure, there is a tendency of greed and rage, of a pit bull that is possible in the soul. It is not certain, but it is possible. A lot of rich people have very bad personalities. They only think about money. Money becomes everything. The heart is dead. There's no compassion. There's no love. They don't even have time to enjoy the money. They don't have time for the pleasure. They have to make more and more money all the time. They don't have time for their children. And their children grow apart from them. So there is a negative side. It's not completely, but the positive side of money is a lot bigger than the negative side about money. Because if you don't have money, the suffering is intense and it's serious. I went to school for 15 years. I didn't take one course on money. Now, when I got out of these buildings, the school system, I found out life is very expensive. Rent is expensive. Mortgage is expensive. A car is expensive. Food is expensive. All the amenities like the phone and so forth. Why is it that the school system doesn't have a course about money every year? Isn't money going to determine a lot about the soul? I didn't say everything about the soul, but it's going to determine a lot in any soul's life, the kind of money they have. Even religious establishments depend on money, but they like to condemn money with one hand and collect the money with the other in the donation plate and as a charity. Basically, religion is a beggar who condemns money. And this is the moral authority of humanity at this time. There are wealthy people like Bill Gates and Warren Buffett who've given away 90% of their wealth to help other people, to help poverty, to help extraordinary things. Wealth does not mean evil. We have this brainwashed into the psyche that wealth and evil are the same. That's not true. You can have wealth and be one of the biggest givers. You can buy homes for people, like Brad Pitt. You can be wealthy and be good. In fact, the kind of good that has money is superior to the kind of good that doesn't have any money. You know, Mother Teresa wanted to help the orphans of Bombay, but she didn't have any money to help them. And she was disappointed in her own God. The values of the soul of life, not the soul that is trying to escape this world, but the soul that is alive on the planet. Wealth is a good and poverty is an evil. It's a plague. It's an affliction. Poverty makes you sick and depressed. You're going to want to die if you're poor enough, if you're miserable enough. Wealth brings a lot of doors start to open, a lot of pleasures start to open. You can fulfill your dreams with wealth. You can get a yacht. You can get a vacation. If you like painting, you can try it. If you want sculpture, you can try it. You want to visit some foreign country, you can do it. Not when you're in poverty. In poverty, you're stuck to the rent and mortgage and how to eat. And this is what is supposed to be, the virtue of the Bible, so that poverty is some kind of fantastic, positive. There's even vows of poverty in religions. Monks and nuns vow a perpetual poverty, like it's going to make them extraordinary divine souls. Yeah, it makes extraordinary beggars out of them. Money is so important for the soul that a lot of people risk their lives crossing borders illegally just to get a little money, to survive, just to be alive, just to enjoy life a little bit and not perish and die and suffer. Money is a very big deal on this material planet. The soul is material as much as it is spiritual. So the trap is about money is that money becomes everything. Once you get into money, you can't get enough money. Your whole agenda is just making money. You live and die for making money, and you lose your heart for life. You lose your enjoyment of life. You don't have time for anything else other than making money. The only excitement that you get is making money. That is a trap. That is an arrogance. That is an ego problem. But it does not, negate the value of money. Just because many of the rich make money everything does not mean money is evil. We live in a poor planet. 90% of the people are poor. I mean, even 95% of the people are middle class poverty. What is middle class poverty? Here's a sign of it. Credit card debt in the United States per family was $8,400 per household in the United States, average. There's close to $1 trillion in credit card debt. What does that mean? It means we're poor. We're middle class poor. Okay, we have to pay the mortgage. We have to pay the rent. We have to pay the food. We have to pay the education of the children and all the toys they want. A lot of people are under pressure for money. The government is not smart to our survival. The government doesn't study survival. There's no file on survival, and therefore survival is very expensive. Right? And therefore, most of the people are poor, including the middle class, who are middle class poor. Therefore, getting money is very important. Having a career to make money is important. Learning how to open a business is important. We never got taught that. In school, they teach us to be poor and enslaved. Most of the courses in school do not lead to a career in real life. All right? I went to school for 15 years. I became stupid to life right in school. Stupid to money. That was one of them. School makes you stupid to money. School makes you feel like money's not really, a very big deal. It is a very big deal. In order for life on earth to become sweet and beautiful for the soul, and stupidity to money has to stop. We have to stop treating money as it's some kind of evil. It is a good, and we need prosperity. We need a prosperous humanity. We need wealth. We need the survival cost to go down and the money in the bank to go up. We don't need any credit card debt. We need to be relaxed and enjoy life. And for that, prosperity is very important. So therefore, money is very important. And that money is very important and has to be taught by the parent, by the father, by the mother, and by the school, and by the government, the importance of having money and a lot of money in order to have a good life. These are the new principles of a new civilization, because the old civilization was taught to hate money.